How do I get out of a narcissistic relationship? Well, firstly, no contact, really important. Just like I did with my alcohol, no contact. It's safer to not drink than if I always said, I had promised myself I wouldn't drink, then I'd take one drink and then suddenly I was in there, okay? So what I'd say to a person who's addicted to the narcissist, no contact. I had one client who actually said, yeah, I've cut off all contact. And I said, all contact? She said, okay, only one contact is there, and that's on my phone. I've cut it off on my emails, everything. I said, but that's like me walking around with a bottle of whiskey in my bag. And now she's cut off that contact. So, no contact. Treat it like an addiction. Like the alcoholic in recovery. And for the reasons explained, the narcissist is like a drug. You cannot have contact with this drug. In recovery, please be aware you're probably a codependent, but you can recover. Please go back to the codependent section and do your work, or you're at risk of finding yourself going for the high of another narcissistic relationship. How do we recover? How do we close contact? We work with a professional to understand why we are drawn to the narcissist and how it connects with our childhood. Often we can be drawn to the narcissist because it might remind us of somebody we loved in our childhood, but also we can be drawn to them because we think it's normal, but it isn't. Yeah? So we need to do our childhood work to realize that maybe what we grew up in wasn't normal. We externalize the behavior, right, which is the opposite of enmeshment. We do not take their behavior personally. And also, so very often when we're codependent, we go into relationships and we go in thinking that this is what relationships look like. Yeah? But really healthy relationships are two independent people coming together to be interdependent. Yeah? And that is what we need to seek. People who can have that kind of relationship with us. So what I would encourage you to do maybe is not to go into a relationship until you have first become independent. And then that you look for not an enmeshed relationship, but an interdependent relationship. I would not encourage you to try and change the narcissist because they don't change. Yeah, I actually don't work with narcissists because they're not going to change. And anyway, they don't come into the room because they always think it's everybody else that needs to change. So you don't try to rational or reason with a narcissist. They're not going to change. The best thing to do is focus on changing yourself, work on your own inner strength, learn all there is to know about narcissistic personality disorder and how you play into it. Yeah. That was what was really helpful to me through looking. You play into it maybe by looking for approval, justifying feelings, not making choices. That's really important, right, when you start to make choices. The inability to say no, accepting unacceptable behaviour, you know, everything is co-constructed and you're playing your part in this construction. Do not delay action out of empathy for the narcissist. If you delay, you are under their control. Do not give a final letter, right, or an explanatory letter. You're giving them a chance then to get their way in again. Just close the relationship swiftly. It's best to catch them unawares. Do not try to give a final word, to have a final word, or make arrangements to collect belongings or possessions. Yeah, be open, you know, tell others what's happened. You know, if you're secretive about it, it's like being secretive about a drug, then you can actually take your drug again. So I'd say be open. Don't fall for suicide threats. You know, we can't control what other people, places or things, so we can't control what they do or don't do. They have control of you if you fall for those threats, right? That's them taking control of you. Expect them to react. They will react, right? They may not react even for a while. You mightn't hear from them for weeks, days, weeks, months. I've had a man who came back to me who hadn't heard from the narcissist for 4 years. and then he was left in bits. So, and he was really surprised because she hadn't got hold of him the last time, but this time she really gotten hold of him. So I would encourage you to be aware that they can call up at any time and still get hold of you, even if they didn't fully the last time. Avoid their flying monkeys. Flying monkeys being people they work on their behalf, right? Avoid and be aware that they are out there. Don't fall for their victim story. Shut down social media accounts. Set up a new account, as this provides them with data about you. Also avoid contact via message through false profiles, because then they will know where to meet up with you unexpectedly and then suck you in. Be aware that children can be a source of power too, to hoover you back in. So you have to be very boundaried. Really important that us codependents set boundaries. Do not slip into denial. They are counting on us. Actually, that's what really kept me sober up to now. I know it's only one day at a time, and I'm talking about my alcoholism, and also even in my codependency around narcissists, is that I haven't up to now slipped back into the rose-tinted glasses thinking. And it's really important that you don't slip into rose-tinted glasses thinking about happy times with your narcissist. Try and remember your worst time with your narcissist, nearly like your worst drunk with your narcissist, because that'll help you to stay sober from a narcissistic point of view. Okay, so that'll help you to not slip into denial. They're counting on your addiction to the golden period, and they will tell you what you want to hear then. The narcissist will be angry with you because you operated the no contact before they did, right? So kind of expect that, but ignore their reaction.